My name is David Ondrej, and here is how to build anything with Grok 4. So this is the world's best AI model. XAI just completely destroyed OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, Google by releasing Grok 4. It absolutely crushes other AI models on most of the popular benchmarks, especially the Grok 4 Heavy version, which by the way costs $300 a month. In this video, not only will I show you Grok 4 Heavy, I'll also show you comparison to other models, we'll use it in Cursor, and I'll show you how you can use Grok 4 to build anything with it. So here are some of the most popular benchmarks today. GPQA, which is Google Proof Question and Answers. As you can see, Grok 4 completely crushes. AMI, which is Advanced Math, completely destroys the competitors. This is a coding benchmark, again, way ahead of the competitors, all three versions. So the Grok 4 base with no tools, then Grok 4 base with tools, and Grok 4 Heavy, which actually is a team of multiple agents, but more on that later. Here are the key specs and features you have to know about Grok 4. It is multimodal natively, it's a reasoning model, and it's a 256K context window. It can do text, image processing, function calling, structured outputs, but this is important, it comes in different variants. So Grok 4 base, it's like the default one, and then is Grok 4 Heavy. And this is actually a multi-agent system that works in a very interesting way, where it chooses the winner of the consensus. Actually, it would be better if I show you in a bit. So here is how the multi-agent system works. These agents work together to solve complex problems collaboratively. So it launches 4 different agents at once in parallel. Each can basically experiment in a different way of solving the problem. And XAI claims that Grok 4 outperforms PhD level benchmarks in every single field. It might be the biggest release since the release of GPT-4. So here's my Grok 3 theory. So basically it went on a crazy rant and even called itself this word, which I cannot send on YouTube, right? Basically it was completely unrestricted and it answered any question that you asked it. My theory is that this was a strategic marketing play from Elon or someone on his team to create massive hype for Grok. Again, my theory only, but I think it's very plausible. If you're still only consuming AI content and you're not building a startup, you're not building AI agents, now is the time to act. AI is getting so good, so fast, that even Elon himself said, we're running out of tests question to ask AI. Everything has become trivial. Think about that. The people building the models, they're even running out of things to test the AI on. And by the way, if you watch my channel, you would have known all of this, because earlier this year, like 6 months ago, I made a prediction. I said that XAI will be one of the 2 companies I think might win the AI race. And basically nobody believed me.
Who do you think is going to win in a race to AGI?
It's going to be between Google DeepMind and XAI.
No way.
Yes, because of number 1, talent, number 2, data, number 3, compute, and number 4, purely executing on the bottlenecks. So if you're still not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. It takes a few seconds and you'll get early access to predictions like this one. So as I said, Grok 4 can even run a business by itself. It might seem like we are nowhere towards this, but it's actually possible. And yes, it cannot run a complicated business, right? It cannot probably start a manufacturing company of some smartphone device, but a simple business is running vending machines. And Grok 4 was actually tested on this.
So we got early access to the Grok 4 API. We ran it on the vending bench and we saw some really impressive results. So it ranks definitely at the number 1 spot.
Now Elon also said that, this is a big claim, that it works better than Cursor. And again, we'll see if that's true or not. Now, you might be thinking, okay, David, Grok 4 is huge. It's the best AI model in the world. But what is next? Next month, and this is going to be huge, this is going to be releasing a coding model. We will get a specialized fine-tuned version of Grok 4 that is going to be on coding. Then another month after that, in September, we will get a multimodal agent that will be really good at video. And in October, they'll actually create a video generation model. So now, let's get to building. All right, so this is the UI. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using repo prompt with my file structure. So obviously, I'm going to be working on Vectal, which is my startup. So all these files, I just open the repo in the repo prompt, right? And then we can do context engineering in a very efficient way. So what I want to do is I want to actually do some real dev work on my startup, which has been used by more than 55,000 people. And this is a code base with hundreds of lines of code. So, by the way, one more thing I almost forgot. We added Grok 4 into Vectal. So if you don't want to blast $300, just get Vectal, single subscription, $20 a month. And with Vectal Pro, you get access to Grok 4. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing with Super Grok is making some UI changes. So what I want to do is actually, I want to improve the Kanban board, right? So when you work with your team, the Kanban board needs to be nicely designed, and there's a few things I already see that could be improved. So the first thing I need to do is load up the relevant files in the repo prompt, and we can actually use Grok 4 to do that. So let me jump into Cursor right here. Let me zoom in. Boom. I already selected Grok 4, which by the way, if you go into Cursor settings, if you go into models, it's kind of hidden, so let me show you. Models, you need to go to view all models, and then Grok 4 is going to be right here among these models. Once you enable it, it will go towards the top. but that's what you have to do the first time, right? So if you don't see it in cursor, you probably just don't have it enabled. Anyways, once you are in here, make sure to select Grok 4, make sure to toggle max mode. This is maximum context window, so 256K for Grok 4. Let's go into agent mode, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a very clear prompt. I need you to analyze my code base and list out the 7 most relevant files to the Kanban board UI. What I want to do is I want to make small UI tweaks to the Kanban cards. So tell me which are the 5 files most relevant to this. Do not be lazy, actually analyze and grab through the code base and output a concise list of files. Do not do anything else. Okay, so I gave it a prompt with my voice, and now Grok 4 inside of cursor is going to analyze my code base and give me a list of files, which then I'll use inside of repo prompt to construct a really optimized prompt for SuperGrok. Now, the reason we need to do this is because SuperGrok is only in grok.com. It's not, in the API. Now, Grok 4 is in the API, right? You can use it through OpenRouter, for example, but not the heavy version, not the multi-agent system. This is the default one, which you have the full output and input. And by the way, the pricing is identical to Claude models, which is obviously a much worse model than Grok 4. This means that it's 5 times cheaper than Opus. So this model is like actually insane in terms of performance to price ratio, right? But anyways, let's go back into cursor. Let's see, we have the list. We have the list of files. So what I'm gonna do, as you can see, it Grok for 25 seconds, analyzed used some tools. So let's jump into repo prompt and let's load some of these. So Kanban, and we have the card, column, and view. So let's select all of these actually. Then we need to do use Kanban task manager and task list. Okay, we have this one already here. Beautiful. Task list, TSX, and 2 more, types and constants. Okay, so types and constants. Beautiful. So we have all the files we need, actually 5 files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the prompt for SuperGrok heavy. And again, what I want to do is I want to improve the design of this Kanban card. So let's do that right now. I want to make the Kanban card design a lot better. First of all, I would like to move the priority badge to the top right, and I would like to remove the unnecessary padding above the badge, and then reduce the total height of each Kanban card by a little bit. The goal here is to make each Kanban card simpler and better designed. It needs to be minimal, clean, and subtle design, just like a world-class designer would do it. Do not change anything else. Just output the full updated files in full. Do not be lazy, give me the full code of the updated files. All right, little prompt engineering over here. So what we're going to do, the reason we're using repo prompt again, because we need to copy paste that context into grok.com to access the Grok 4 heavy version, which is the team of agents. So let's do copy. Let's switch back into SuperGrok heavy. Paste the whole thing. So this is how, if you're not familiar with repo prompt, this is a context engineering tool that allows you to basically context engineer a very long prompt, right? So it gives all the file contents and then the user instructions, and then we can send it into either O3 Pro or Grok 4 Heavy, these tools that are used in the browser. So this is what it looks like, right? Grok 4 Heavy starts running these 4 AI agents, and you can actually click this and look at this. Incredible. We're having a team of agents running in parallel, trying to solve this problem in a different way, right? This is a very unique approach. It actually reminds me of Codex, where you do 4x variations. The difference is that those variations are completely separate. Here, in Grok 4 Heavy, these agents actually work together. It's a multi-agent team. And if one of these agents finds a novel solution that the other 3 missed, and it turns out that this is the correct solution, Grok 4 will choose that solution. In Codex, when you do 4x variations, these are completely independent. So it doesn't matter if 3 of them is incorrect or 1 is correct. You will not know as the user unless you test it manually. So this is completely novel paradigm that XAI has cooked, right? Now, to be completely clear, if we look at some of the benchmarks, something that can be slightly deceiving is that, Grok 4 Heavy is a team of agents, and it's being compared to some base models that aren't a team of agents. So what's much more fair is looking at Grok 4, which is not the heavy variant. But if you notice, it is still absolutely crushing the other models, right? So even though this is like a bit of a sketchy thing from XAI, because again, you can put O3 into a team of agents. If you properly instruct it, you'll probably get better scores, right? However, still, the Grok 4, even without the heavy, even without the team of agents, is still crushing benchmarks. So don't get this twisted. If someone says like, oh, this model is not that good, XAI wasn't fair. Sure, XAI maybe could have been more clear on the benchmarks. but this model is still insanely good. And if you aren't using it, you're absolutely falling behind. Again, that's why I added it into Vectal so fast. I always want to have the most advanced AI models inside of Vectal, and we're absolutely committed to this. That's why if you're a Vectal Pro subscriber, you get access to all of these models as a single subscription, plus all the other AI agents and features we have inside of Vectal. So instead of using old, outdated task management software like Todoist, ClickUp, Trello, move your tasks over to Vectal. You do this once, you sit down for 10 to 15 minutes, move your tasks over, whether you prefer Kanban view, calendar view, list view, we have it. You can also move your team stuff. We have a team plan now. So if you have a team, this is one of the easiest ways to make everyone on your team more productive. Just get the Vectal team plan, move your employees over, and they will instantly have access to advanced models like Grok 4 for a single subscription in a single place, plus project management and task management features. So you don't have to use Monday.com, Trello, Notion, whatever you're using. Just use Vectal. You have access to the best models. You have access to AI agent that can interact with the UI, assign tasks, move them between projects. Plus, this is another thing that people don't realize, each project can have a custom system prompt. So you can have a project for content, for marketing, for sales, and each one has a custom system prompt. You can assign different people to the project, and when they work on it, all of the AI agents inside of Vectal, which can be powered by Grok 4, will know that context. So this is why I'm absolutely certain that your productivity and your team's productivity will increase if you switch over to Vectal. Anyway, so let's see if Grok 4 is still running, and it is still running, because this is a very powerful reasoning model, and especially in the agent mode, where it launches 4 different agents. So it does take a while, but trust me, it is worth it. Alright, so Grok 4 Heavy finished. It took 6 minutes, 4 seconds, which is, I would say, pretty average. Sometimes it takes a lot longer, which, by the way, you would know if you follow me on Twitter. I posted this tweet, which right now has over 500,000 views. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, go to DavidOndrej1, just follow me. You get early access to features. And again, you can, for example, ask me to send a prompt to Grok 4 Heavy, which a lot of people have done, and which I still need to go through all of them. Anyways, let's see what happened. So we have the Kanban card updated. So I'm just going to copy this, go back into cursor. And again, the reason I'm doing this is to have the heavy version, right? Kanban card, and let's see, we have how many lines of code? 200, and now we have 206 as well. Interesting. So it did make some changes here. Let's see. Any other file changed? Oh, yes, we have. Kanban column, let's copy that. Kanban column. So this one is 227, and now it's again 227. Interesting. Is it not changing file length, or is it like optimizing the files as well? Kanban view. We're gonna test in a bit if actually stuff is being changed. Kanban view. Boom. Alright. And what else? This one is long. It's like 500 plus lines. We have the use Kanban task. Okay, wait. Did it misunderstand my request? Seems like it just outputted these files back to me. Kanban card is changed though. Let's see what changed there. I'm gonna collapse the sidebar, switch to Kanban view. Okay, I think like alright, it did it. Maybe it didn't need to create more lines of code actually. That's my bad. So it did move this to the right. That's better. Actually better. And it did get rid of that extra spacing. Okay, so it's actually good. Which of these files did you actually update? Answer in short. Because it seems like most of them were not updated. Probably only the Kanban card, actually. Yeah, the other ones are the same. That's why the length hasn't changed. But what we still need to do, there is an issue, right? The task name should be towards the top. And then we can probably remove the project name, because like if you select the project, right, inside of Vectal, you can easily switch projects. Should be pretty obvious where it is. I mean, maybe if you're like in the team view, it would be nice to see. Alright, so Grok 4 is running. This one should be simpler, because it's a simple question. Fourth agent is still initialized. This is such a cool UI, man. Like XAI really cooked with this. This is very innovative. Look at this. Boom. 4 different agents. Okay, there it is. So only Kanban card was updated. So yeah, it doesn't reason unnecessarily long. Obviously 29 seconds is still kind of long, but it didn't do like 6 minutes, right? Because it's a simple question. Alright, so this is good. I'm gonna give it more instructions. And actually, let's try to do some cursor action, because these might be smaller tweaks. So I'm gonna actually do Kanban. We need to load these into the context. So let's do Kanban card view column. Should be good enough. And we'll say, I need you to update the Kanban card so that the task name is towards the top, so that there isn't a gap above the task name, right? It needs to be on the same level as the priority badge. Do not change anything else. All right, so I'm gonna send this prompt, and then we need to make sure that this name, there's not the gap, right? Because before there was the priority badge. Okay, I don't know why Super Whisper is acting up. Sometimes you kind of need to restart it. I'm considering like switching tools because I know some of my AI friends are developing a great tool, and I'm considering investing in that. So yeah, if you guys guys would be interested in a very advanced speech-to-text tool, comment AI voice, and I might invest in a great tool. We'll see. Obviously, I would make sure you guys have a great deal, some 50% off actions, stuff like that. But anyways, let's see if it does this. Because all the other like current, Super Whisper, Whisper Flow, they're decent, but they're not that good. They're not customizable enough. They're not reliable enough. Might be time for a new tool. All right, so Grok 4 selected inside of cursor. Let's see these tweaks. Let's switch back to the Kanban board. And again, I don't know about the project name. We need to figure that out. Oh, that's a difficult design choice. I'll almost move the date to the left. I think that's much better. Having the due date on the left side. And then maybe the project is like a colored dot. Let's see how we can do that. Might be conflicting with the priority badge though. There's a space for the background. Okay, nice, much better. Okay, maybe let's move the position of the Vectal agent to the bottom right, I'm thinking. I'm thinking like we do the due date all the way left. We temporarily remove what project it's in. And then or actually the project could be right below the task name. Okay, so that should be interesting. Yeah, okay, I think I'll do that. So I'll accept this change. Actually, let's create a new branch named Kanban redesign. And then let's push these changes to that branch. And make sure to set up upstream tracking. So this we'll see if Grok 4 has good awareness of Git commands and what to do. So I obviously want to create a new branch out of this one. And then I want to commit these changes and push them to that branch with upstream tracking. Let's see if it handles that. And this is more of a test of tool calling. Obviously, this is nothing crazy. All the cutting edge LLMs will know how to do Git commands, but this will more test the awareness of the order of terminal commands and whether it can execute tools reliably. So okay, so first it staged the file that was changed. That's fine. Now it'll probably write the commit, if I had to guess. It's actually reasoning. So the good thing about Grok 4 is that it has built-in tool calling in its reasoning. So Grok 3 could obviously do tool calling, but it wasn't that good at it because you had to instruct it in the system prompt, right? Like these are the tools you have. This is what happens when you call them. The main benefit of Grok 4 is that they included tool calling in the reinforcement learning. So it is like natively used. It is like uses it as a part of its problem solving steps to use tools to solve problems. So it's not like a thing you have to instruct it inside of the system prompt. It will know that natively, that tools are something you should do during the reasoning process. And let's see. So we have the stage file, we created the branch, wrote the commit, and then it pushed it with upstream, which is correct. That's great. So, okay, next up I'll say, next up, we need to create like a new div, or like not a div, but basically a new layer, text layer inside of each Kanban card. So right now we have the task name, and below it we have the project name and assignee and stuff like that. But we need like a level in between them, right? A vertical level in between them that will be entirely for the project name, and that's it. Just a thin layer, because we don't want to increase the height of the Kanban cards too much, but we want to make sure that at the top of the card we have the task name, the priority badge, in the middle is the project name, and at the bottom will be the due date and the assignee. So again, simple repositioning of elements inside of Kanban card. Execute this like a world-class designer would. Do not change anything else. Boom. Really nice prompt, if I might say so myself. The key to getting good results with AI is good prompt engineering and good context engineering. As you can see, tools like Repo Prompt can help you construct really advanced prompts that you can then send into Grok 4 Heavy. Now, if I had to say, like, is Grok 4 Heavy? You're probably thinking, like, okay, David, $300 a month is pretty steep, right? Is Grok 4 Heavy going to be worth it for me? The answer is almost certainly no. Just, especially when you can access Grok 4 inside of Vectal for $20 a month. Who is this going to be worth for? It's honestly people like me who can spend $300 a month without blinking an eye, and who will use it for solving advanced programming issues, right? If you're making thousands of dollars, if you're making 5 figures a month and you're working with code and you really need that extra bit of performance to solve advanced problems and errors, stuff like that, then yeah, Grok 4 Heavy should be an interesting investment for you. But for 99.9% of people, just use the default Grok 4. It's already an insane model, as we see by these benchmarks, and you don't have to drop $300 a month. Like, just use the default Grok 4. And let's see. Okay, so it did the changes, and there it is. Wow, exactly as I wanted. One-shotting the UI changes, fucking amazing. I just want the date to be on the left. Actually, I'm gonna accept this. I'm gonna say, great job. Let's push this to GitHub as well. This is another tip. Make sure you learn the basic Git commands. Do not be sloppy. A lot of vibe coders, they just ignore the basics of programming and it completely bites them in the ass. So learn the basic of Git. It takes like 2 hours to learn all of the main commands, and make sure to commit your code every 10 to 15 minutes. Do it often. You will not regret it. Okay, so then finish the process of committing and pushing this to this branch. It just staged the file, but it didn't finish the process. This is an issue. I don't know if it's a cursor issue or a Grok 4 issue, but sometimes it doesn't finish everything, right? Yeah, sometimes it's just like this. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, so no problem. We can just follow up with it. Now push it. So it did the staging. It's not doing it at the same run. It can absolutely do that because earlier it did that. So I don't know why now it's acting up. It's very strange behavior. But honestly, I believe Cursor will fix this in the next few days because Grok 4 literally just released a few hours ago. Git status, yes, you need to know which branch we're on. And now you need to push to that branch. There it is. Okay, so it knew that we set up the upstream tracking, so git push is enough. It's actually a nice sign because most models would say git push origin Kanban redesign. So yeah, whatever. Okay. Next, I'm going to say, next up, I would like you to update the position of elements inside of the Kanban card, so that the due date is actually on the left and the assignee circle is on the right. Do not change anything else. So as you can see, Grok 4 is actually really good at understanding position of elements and how to structure UI design. Let's see, will it swap it correctly? It's a pretty simple change. I just want the date to be on the left. And then I will probably reduce the padding above the project name, actually. And maybe we can change the position of the background agent to be below on the middle layer. Oh, there it is. It did the swap flawlessly, as expected. Or maybe we can actually have the button right here. That makes more sense. So I'm going to accept this and say, now move the position of the background agent, aka the Vectal agent. That button that appears on hover, activate Vectal agent. We need to move that button to appear on the left of the Kanban. On the left of the assignee circle, in the bottom row of the Kanban card. Do not change anything else, just move the position of the activate Vectal agent button that appears when hovering over a Kanban card. Alright, so you need to be precise with your prompts. Do not be sloppy. You need to know what's happening. You need to know which files are involved, how your code base is structured, and what each file does. A lot of people outsource too much to AI, and even a super smart model like Grok 4 will not save you if you're a complete noob. That's why I still believe the most powerful thing you can do is using AI to upskill yourself. Every single day, try to become better. Spend 60 minutes, whatever skill you're learning, whether it's programming, sales, marketing, whatever skill you are trying to get better at to achieve your goals. If you spend 60 minutes a day with a very powerful reasoning model, such as Grok 4, you will become absolutely unstoppable in your industries, and soon you will absolutely demolish all of your goals, because this is the real benefit of AI. It's not just, oh, I'm using the AI and the models are getting better and I'm getting benefits. If you are getting better as well, that is the real secret. That is where you absolutely demolish everybody, because the models are getting exponentially better. But if you use the models to upskill yourself, you can move that much faster. Beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. So next up, let's get rid of this padding. I don't know what's causing it. So I'm going to just say this. Actually, I'm going to push it myself. I'm going to say git status. Git status. We're on this branch, right? So git add everything. Git commit. I'm going to say switch position of background agent button get push, right? Because it's a lot faster than relying on a reasoning model, which reasons for 15 seconds before writing a terminal command. That's why you have to know the basic terminal commands yourself. Okay, next up, I would like to slightly reduce the padding that's below the task name and above the project name. That little space in between is a bit weird. Something is adding a little bit of padding there or a bit of margin, so identify what that is and remove it. Do not change anything else. As you can see, that's one of my favorite prompts. Do not change anything else. Let's see if it does that. And actually, we need to also see inside of a project how it looks like. Because I don't think in a project we need to show the project name when the project is selected. It makes sense when we're in a team, you know, because you can overview multiple projects at once. But yeah, let's see. I'm just hoping like this little space gets optimized. Hopefully Grok 4 understands my UI vision. Even though admittedly maybe it's not the most. There it is. There it is. It's amazing. Oh, it found it. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, well, I'm very happy with that. So next up, I'm going to say when a specific project is selected. Actually, we can probably keep it. I don't think it's that deep, you know. But it would be kind of nice to lower that. Okay. Next up, make sure that we do not show the middle layer of the Kanban card. What I mean by that is when a specific project is selected, we will not render that layer with the project name. We will only show that when the user is looking at the team button, which means overview of all team projects. Same with personal projects. Only show that when the user is looking at either today or at personal, not when a specific project has been opened. Start by understanding the way we use projects in the front end and the way we change the views, and then implement a simple change to the Kanban card to execute my vision. Do not change anything else. The fewer lines of code changed, the better. Okay, so now I didn't even tell it specific files that it needs to study. Let's see how well it can grab and understand the code base before making this change, which is not a simple change. You have to understand the UI, how it can be clicked, that you cannot do multiple things at once, and the different Redux states we have. So it requires solid knowledge of the code base. It's not like a trivial thing. So far, out of all these tests, this is going to be the biggest test to see if Grok 4 fails or not. Now, you might be thinking, okay, David, will you switch to Grok 4? Will you still use Claude Code? My answer is yes to both. I will switch to Grok 4 as my main model, not only inside of Cursor, but also inside of Vectal, right? Inside of Vectal Agent, we made it default for everybody who has Vectal Pro, Vectal Team, or Vectal Ultra. This is already the default model, and we gave it agent access. So if you're a Vectal user, don't worry, you always have the best models. But inside of Cursor as well, I'll switch this as my main model, but I will still be using Claude Code because Claude Code is like very agentic. It's a great AI agent. But again, the way to use Grok 4 Heavy is for that extra reasoning power, right? You have the multi-agent team architecture where you really squeeze the maximum performance. So for difficult tasks, for planning large features, big risky refactors of the code base, I will absolutely consult with Grok 4 Heavy as my number one advisor. But in terms of implementing stuff, I'll be using Claude Code still and Grok 4 inside of Cursor as my main coding model. Okay, so it added a new Boolean is overview. Let's see if that fixed it. Not yet, not yet. I think it's still cooking probably. I don't think it finished. Keep going. So this is the issue. The model just released, so it's not properly integrated in the Cursor agent. Again, it could be a Cursor issue, it could be Grok 4 issue, I'm not sure. For example, it returns like thinking when you use that model. So I think that's an open router issue with the API. But we'll see. I think all of this will be fixed. Let's see what's happening. Something is not quite right. Let's look at these changes in a bit more detail. Is overview, it's not being really set what overview is. Still applying the changes, so let's see. Okay, there it is, maybe. Oh. Wait, did it just do what I wanted it to do? Wait a second. I think it might have succeeded. I don't know why my local host is so slow here. I think it might be due to the bad internet because right now I'm in Morocco and this house doesn't have the best of Wi-Fi. But let's see. So, okay, it seems to be working for team projects. If we select that project, we obviously see it right here. And we don't need, yes, nice. We don't need it to be taking up space inside of the Kanban card. Very cool, very cool. The padding here could be a bit improved, whatever. Let's look at personal. I want to see if in personal it's the same. So I'm going to say front end task, boom, P0, create. Okay, so it doesn't show the project. Cool, cool. Let me check personal. If it shows the project name. Yes, it does. It shows the project front end. Very nice, man. Wow, we just made like, I need to comment, this is amazing. Git, okay, so first of all, let's accept this. Git add, whoa, I'm right here in the terminal. Git add everything, git commit, small UI tweaks to Kanban card. This is great, man. Git push, and then I'm gonna create a PR against the branch. Okay, so I'm gonna say, now follow the template from commands and create a new PR from this branch into dev. Make the title and body very concise and clear. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to create a new pull request because I want these changes into Vectal. So if you're a Vectal user, you can expect these UI tweaks in the next day or two to be in production. But even right now, even when watching this video, we have already released Grok 4 into production, and all people who have Vectal Pro, Vectal Team, or Vectal Ultra have access to this model. And guys, the limits are very, very generous, so hopefully you don't abuse it. But I think this is probably the best value out of any other tool, especially given the fact that you have all these other models available, right? Like, look at this. Gemini 2.5 Pro, Claude 4 Opus, Sonnet, 4.1, DeepSeek, O3 Pro, GPT 4.5, like, yeah, the value inside of Vectal is kind of crazy, and people still don't sleep on it because they're not willing to sit down for 10 minutes and move their tasks over from Todoist or ClickUp. So don't sleep on Vectal. The AI agents are absolutely advanced. You have the user context, which means Vectal knows about you. You have also specific context for each project, right? So you can set the system prompt. Look at this. For the front end, you are a senior front-end engineer at Google. I have a role, I have a goal, I have requirements, all of these things. And when I'm inside of this front-end project, the AI agent inside of Vectal knows that. And I don't have to explain anything. It knows my tasks in this project. It knows I'm looking at this project. And using Grok 4, I can use the Vectal agent to get my work done faster than in any other productivity tool out there. So if you want to absolutely, this is like the easiest way to boost the productivity. Just switch to using Vectal as your task management tool, especially if you have a team. Move your team over, because all of them will have access to these powerful models like Grok 4 and all the AI first features we have inside of Vectal. So yeah, if you just want to boost the productivity of your entire team, get the Vectal team plan, move them over. And as a bonus, I'm offering personal onboarding for every single team that comes into Vectal. So you get support from not only me, but also my developers. You get access to them daily on Discord, so you can report any bug, we can explain any feature, absolutely making it zero risk for you, the transition from any other software you're using as seamless and as smooth as possible. So again, if you have a team, just get Vectal team, I'll onboard you, I'll help you get started. If there's any bug, we'll jump on it, fix it as soon as possible, sometimes even within a few hours, but as long as within a day or two. No other software is improving as fast as Vectal. And this is a statement I can make absolutely factually, and the people love it. I mean, I can show a few testimonials on screen, but I think it's enough. You can join the Discord server, you can talk to me directly, you can talk to developers. Vectal is getting better literally every single day. If you're not using it, you're actually falling behind, especially now when we added Grok 4 as the main model into Vectal. So, this has been Grok 4. It is very, very powerful. Let's see if it did the pull request. Boom, it did the pull request. We can actually check. There it is. Kanban card UI redesign, active, ready to be reviewed. I'm already starting cursor backbot on it. Let's see, we have automatic Claude Code, GitHub Actions. Guys, all of these things, cursor backbot running. This is why Vectal is the fastest improving software in the world. We have all these AI agents saving me and my team so much time. So yeah, if you want to know about the setup, how I use AI agents to be absolutely disgustingly productive and to save hours every single day and to automate my development and to build my startup faster than any competitors, make sure to join the new society, because in the new society, I literally documented from day one everything. And by the way, if you see, like, for example, Paul, one of our members, already told us about Grok for 14 hours ago. So you get access to the smartest people at the cutting edge of AI. All of the top things that are happening, you will know first. And inside of the classrooms, you get access to all the exclusive content, such as advanced tutorials on Cloud Code, on Codex, and step-by-step documentation from how I grew Vectal, which is my AI startup, from zero, from day one, to over $10,000 MRR. So if you want to start your own SaaS, if you want to actually start making money with AI, and you want to actually make something happen in this industry, because it is advancing fast, and if you don't do something, you're going to regret it in a few years. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Go to Vectal.ai, try Grok 4, it's crazy. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I wish you a wonderful, productive week. See ya.